Sports writers who cover both the Gamecocks and the Tigers on a regular basis. Tim Beret is here with me. Tim, I got to say this to you. I really enjoy your basketball coverage with Jim during the season. It's really a pleasure. And
Thanks very much. I enjoy doing it.
You make it feel like the entire game is being played in your living room. I'm serious about that. Tim Beret, who of course works in the Sports Information Office at Clemson University. I got to go downstairs in just a few minutes. We're back, Williams-Brice Stadium. We have 30 more minutes of football to go. It's great to be here. It's a cold, sunshiny afternoon, late November in South Carolina. Wish you could be here. I think they could have sold 2 million tickets if they had a place big enough to play this game in. Everybody in the state wanted tickets. A lot of folks came down here. They're out in the parking lot over the state fairgrounds, just outside their trailers, their mobile homes, their motor homes, just enjoying the game on the radio, and we're glad you're along with us. The Gamecocks back out on the field now. They will be, well, let's see. The Tigers are going to be set to kick it off. Igwe Buike appeared to be a bit shaken up, Jim, at the end of the first half when he attempted that field goal, but he comes out on the field now looking like everything's okay.
He's going to kick anyhow, Scott.
Yeah.
Haygood is backed up deep again for South Carolina. Lewis and Smith will also be back, but Ken Haygood is the deep back, ready to go into third quarter action here at Williams-Brice Stadium. 15-7, Clemson on top in this game. And Igwe Buike to kick off to begin the second half of play, approaching the football. Here's his kick, a flat one. It's going to bounce around and be picked up by Blasingame, I believe, around the 15, out over the 20 to the 25, 30-yard line, and finally knocked down as he crosses the 30 to the 32. So a short squibber, and Blasingame picking it up and returning it out to the 33-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for South Carolina. So once again, Gordon Beckham and company coming out now. Wide to the right side, they send Smith. They'll bring Ira Hillary to the left. They have Blasingame and right in an I formation. Beckham now has Chivers working as a wing from the right side in motion. Pitch back, and coming to the left side is Johnny Wright. He gets out to the 35, gets away to the 40, and finally bounced down. He came right off of Billy Davis, who had him back around the 35, and was finally knocked down by Jeff Davis and Jeff Bryant. First half statistics just now arriving. 79 yards rushing Clemson, 61 yards rushing South Carolina, 53 yards passing Tigers, 30 yards passing South Carolina. All right, wide to the right side is Smith. Hillary comes left again. They'll work from the split backfield this time behind Gordon Beckham at quarterback. It's second down and about 3. Here's Beckham riding it off to right again. He gets outside the left end and is finally bounced down as he crosses the 40 to about the 43-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. So they're coming back with that sweep again here. Jeff Bryant made the tackle once more for the Tigers. South Carolina began this football game. Their opening drive consisted of a lot of sweep plays. Then they abandoned that for a while and started throwing the football, but now they're back to basics once again. First down for the Gamecocks, the ball at their own 43-yard line. Smith comes to the left side. Hillary goes to the right. Beckham on a pitch back again to Johnny Wright. Has some running room, but now he's going to be cornered and pulled down shy of the 45-yard line. Getting to him was Jeff Davis with Anthony Rose. Mark it right at the 44-yard line, a gain of 1 on the play. So it'll be second down and 9 now for the Gamecocks. Berry and Haygood have checked in to the backfield for South Carolina. Hillary coming to the left. Horace Smith going to the right side. They work from the split backfield behind quarterback Gordon Beckham. Beckham now taking out, dropping straight back to throw, looking and firing is complete to Hillary in Clemson territory at the 45, and he's down to the 44-yard line where Rod McSwain, who was playing him a little bit soft over there, comes up to make the tackle. But it'll be another first down for the Gamecocks with the ball now spotted at the 44-yard line of the Tigers. So South Carolina moving with the football. Let's drive after taking the kickoff. started at their own 33-yard line. They have moved to the 44 of the Tigers. Smith will come to the left side. Double tight end formation now with an eye behind Beckham at quarterback. Smith goes in motion left to right as Beckham pitches back. This is Haygood sweeping out wide on the right side. Andy Hedden in pursuit. Now he gets away and is finally pulled down around the 39-yard line. Getting to him at that point, Jeff Davis and Billy Davis. They have marked it at the 38-yard line of the Tigers. So the Gamecocks moving well with the football here in this third quarter of play. It's 15-7. The Tigers on top, but South Carolina threatening now coming on. Back to the huddle they go with 14 minutes exactly remaining here in the third quarter. Out they are. Beckham has them down in the eye. Gordon Beckham. Now bringing Horace Smith in motion from the right side. Again, the pitch straight back, and this is Haygood again into the 35-yard line before he is finally hit there. And up defensively for the Tigers was Jeff Bryant with Jeff Davis. So South Carolina at the 35-yard line of the Tigers now. It will be third down and a yard for the Gamecocks. William Perry going to check in now, and Jeff Suttle out for the Tigers. Gamecocks with the football, threatening. Here's Smith going wide to the right side. They'll come out in the I formation once again behind Beckham at quarterback. Beckham takes out again, rides it up, and they're going to nail him for a loss on the play. Jeff Davis got in that time on Kent Haygood, and they drop him for a loss back to about the 36-yard line. So that time the Tigers were coming with the blitz, and Jeff Davis getting to him, and now South Carolina wants to discuss it. So it will be fourth down and 2 yards to go for the Gamecocks, but Gordon Beckham heading to the sidelines with time out on the field. The score, Clemson 15, South Carolina 7.
Saw the governor downstairs.
Can't pick up the numbers.
Just underway, second half. Gamecocks on the move. 12:52 to go in the third quarter play.
All right, it's fourth down and 2 for South Carolina. The Gamecocks at the 36-yard line of the Tigers. They come out in an I formation. Smith will be wide to the left side. Now they have a wing on the left side, and that is Chivers in motion. As Beckham now up under center. Takes out, rolls to his left, turning upfield. He's got the first down and more. He's at the 30 and down to the 26-yard line goes Gordon Beckham as he found a hole over the left side, and the Gamecocks have a drive that has carried them now to the 26-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Beautiful read that time by Beckham. I don't know whether that was quarterback all the way or not, but he certainly turned it up beautifully.
They had him contained to the outside, and he cut off tackle, made a nice gain out of it.
Wide to the right side, or left side rather, is Smith. I formation now behind Beckham, the quarterback. Gordon Beckham moves up under center. Long count, takes out, pitch back. That is Johnny Wright sweeping wide to the left. He gets back across the 25 to about the 23-yard line and is met there and stopped there. Jeff Davis on top of that stack. Let's see who's down underneath who made the initial hit for the Tigers. Billy Davis in there, as well as Jeff Bryant and Andy Hedden.
All 11 players on the defense, Jim, were waiting on it. Wright had no place to go except trying to turn it straight up and see how much he could do. Second at about 6, 7.
Gain 3 on the play. It is 2nd and 7 as Smith comes wide to the left side. Blasingame and Haygood in the eye behind quarterback Gordon Beckham. Now in motion is Chivers from the left side, going right. Out comes Beckham, pitch back. This is Haygood. He's got running room at the 20. Down to the 10 and down to the 8-yard line goes Kent Haygood. He ran over Tim Childers down there and was finally caught by Billy Davis, who wrestled him down. They've marked it at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal. And we have a holding call here, I believe, going against the Gamecocks. Horace Smith guilty of holding. And that takes away the excellent run by Haygood.
He grabbed Bryant by the leg and wouldn't let him go.
Well, that's illegal, isn't it?
Yes.
So they'll step off 10 yards against the Gamecocks, and that's going to move it back out to the 29-yard line now, where it will be 2nd down and 14. Make it 2nd and about, 14. Clock down to 11:34 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Williams-Brice Stadium, a very sunny day, but a very cool and windy day.
Just saw the governor downstairs. He's cold just like the rest of us.
Blasingame and Wright split backfield. They have a wing on the right side as Gordon Beckham now sets them down. Goes back to throw, rolling to his left, looking to throw, going deep, and this one is caught for a touchdown. Incomplete. He dropped it when he was falling to the ground. That was Johnny Wright. And another flag back upfield here, and maybe this one going to go against the Tigers. Wright had the football, but as he started to fall in the end zone, he lost it. Well, they're discussing the situation on the flag out here. Jeff Bryant over there. Now they're going to march it off against the Tigers.
Horace Smith was pointing to the sidelines. It may be face mask. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's all the way down to the 15-yard line. Now they're going to move it into the 14-yard line. 1st down. So the Tigers now with their backs to the wall here. South Carolina starting here in the 3rd quarter just the way they did in the 1st quarter of play when they drove 52 yards with the football to a touchdown. This drive started at their own 33-yard line. Out they come. Wide to the left side is Horace Smith. Blasingame and Haygood, the high backs behind Gordon Beckham. Beckham now again on a long count. Again goes with that wing to the right. Pitch back. Haygood coming to the left, looking for running room. Gets down to about the 10-yard line before he is knocked down. And over defensively that time was Rod McSwain for the Tigers. So a pickup of 4 yards. It will be 2nd down and 6 for South Carolina. The ball at the 10-yard line. This has been a time-consuming drive in addition to being a good one that's moving down the field. There are now 11 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clock suddenly stopped. Out they come left side with Horace Smith. Now they wing on the left side. That's Chivers, and he'll go in motion from left to right. High formation in behind Beckham at quarterback. Beckham reading it and whoops, knocked down, and the ball pops out, but he dives back on it. And it was Jeff Davis who got to him that time. Jeff Davis submarining through, getting to quarterback Gordon Beckham, who that time on an option to the right side tried to take it outside of tackle but gets no gain, so it's 3rd down and 6 for the Gamecocks.
The refrigerator gets in at middle guard. And let's see. They got some run support people in the secondary now.
Blasingame and Haygood split backfield. Hillary to the left, Smith to the right side. Back to throw goes quarterback Gordon Beckham, throwing over the middle. Touchdown, Horace Smith. Horace Smith was wide open over the middle. He grabbed it at about the 5 and was smooth sailing from there as he was in for the 6. And let's see, would South Carolina be in a gambling mood to tie here, or would they go for the kick? Well, they're asking for the ball to come to the hash mark, so they may be going to go for 2 here, Scott.
I think you're right.
They're asking that it be brought to the left hash mark, and it would appear that the Gamecocks are looking for a tie at this point.
Well, now they're going to reset it back in the middle of the field.
I still am of the impression, though, that they are going to go for 2, because there is Beckham taking them into the huddle. Here we go, 2-point try. This could tie the football game with 10:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Blasingame and Wright. Wright goes out as a wing on the right side. They have a double wing now. In motion from the left side is Berry. Back to throw is Beckham, and he's knocked down. Coming hard from the right side was Jeff Suttle, and he got to Gordon Beckham and knocked him down, so the try for 2 is no good. And with 10:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter, timeout on the field, the score, Tigers 15, South Carolina 13.
67 yards, 13 plays, 4.5 minutes off the clock. Beckham to Smith. The pass gave them a chance to get even in this game. The two-point conversion failed as quarterback Beckham was blindsided as he attempted to set up and pass. We got ourselves a honey of a game here in Columbia.
You better believe it. Anyone who thinks this one's over is far from being right. Tanner to kick off. Mack and Tuttle back deep. High into that wind, grabbed by Tuttle in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. He's up over the 5, the 10, and comes out only to about the 13 or 14-yard line, and down he goes at that point. I don't think Kevin Mack wanted him to bring it out of there, but Perry Tuttle started forward before Kevin could do anything about it. James Sumter bringing Tuttle down. He found himself just totally blocked off at the 14-yard line. So that's where the Tigers take over 1st and 10. Now nursing a very slim 2-point lead over the Gamecocks. Butcher and Diggs are both in. They're going to have double tight ends.
We must be in the flight pattern today. Big jet circling overhead.
All right, Gilliard to the right side. Tuttle goes left. He's in motion left to right. Kevin Mack, Chuck McSwain in the eye. Here's McSwain sweeping outside the left end. Comes up over the 15 and out to about the 17-yard line and out of bounds at that point. So he gets 3 yards. It will be 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers from their own 17-yard line. Now Stockstill is getting in. 10 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. A 15-13 football game here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Out goes Tuttle to the left side. Gilliard will be a slot left, and Stockstill comes right. I formation once again behind quarterback Homer Jordan. Gilliard now in motion from left to right. Homer takes out. Rolling to his left, pitching off on the corner. McSwain up the sideline. He is horse-collared and knocked down around the 20 or 21-yard line by Hal Henderson, and then Troy Thomas coming up to assist on that defensive play. So now the Tigers faced with a 3rd down and 3.
Again, they're optioning to the short side of the field, Jim. He may try to work something wide this time.
McSwain's getting out, and Cliff Austin checks in. So Mack will be at fullback, Austin the tailback. In motion is Tuttle from left to right. Magwood split off right end. Homer pitching it back to Austin, sweeping left. He's got the 1st down as he's out over the 25, the 30, and bounced out of bounds at the 31-yard line by Ricky Haygood. Well, they didn't go to the wide side. They went to the short side once again successfully for the 1st down.
That's correct. And Austin is running much harder here in the 2nd half, Jim. McSwain had a brilliant 1st half of play, and Austin ran a little tentatively in the 1st half, but he just let it all out that time. Got a big 1st down for the Tigers.
Brendan Kreit is in along with Chuck McSwain. They're in a split backfield. Tuttle's wide to the right side. Homer rolling to his right, looking to throw, firing over the middle. It's incomplete, short. Tuttle was out at the 45-yard line, but a bounce to him. Harry Skipper was there defensively for South Carolina on that play.
Great block by Chuck McSwain at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 10, Clemson. Ball at their own 31-yard line. A 15-13 football game here at Williams-Brice Stadium this afternoon. The lights have come on now. We're in the shadows of the late afternoon sun.
Shadows covering about a 1/3 of the field here.
Cliff Austin's back in along with Brendan Kreit in that backfield now. And Kreit gets the call straight ahead, but he'll only get out to about the 34-yard line, and that's it. He is knocked down at that point. A good defensive surge that time by South Carolina's defenders. And leading that charge in there for them was Andrew Province with Kerry Johnson.
9.5 minutes to go, 3rd period of play. 15-13, Tigers on top of the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks scored their opening possession in both halves.
Magwood to the left. Tuttle comes to the right side. They have Austin and McSwain in a split backfield. It's 3rd down and 7. Homer rolling to his right, looking to throw. Now firing over the middle, complete. And that is Perry Tuttle. He's away to the 50. Tuttle now heading to the sidelines is finally knocked out of bounds over there by Troy Thomas. And they both go into the crowd over there.
Clemson players surrounding Thomas, and some of the Gamecocks come over to help escort him back to the field. He and Tuttle were having quite a battle. Tuttle was trying to straight arm him to get to the outside.
And Troy just kept coming, as all good defensive players will, but it's a 1st down Tigers. It's marked at the 48-yard line. So a clutch throw to Perry Tuttle over the middle.
I don't know how much longer that jet's going to circle here, Jim.
That's one of those big ones from down at Shaw, I would guess.
Yeah.
All right, Tigers set to go at their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Homer Jordan moves up under center now. McSwain and Austin. Here's Cliff Austin. He's going to be caught. Now gets away and fights his way to the 50-yard line. Good second effort by Cliff Austin as he was grabbed back around the line of scrimmage but fought his way forward. Frank Wright had a hold of him, and he went forward, and then Andrew Province helped to bring him down, and he crossed the 50 to the 49-yard line of South Carolina. So it's a pickup of about 3. Brendan Crite now back in. He'll be at fullback. Chuck McSwain will be the tailback. Wide to the right comes Tuttle. To the left side, they have Gilliard. Homer Jordan up under center. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Gamecocks. Homer rolling to his right on a misdirect. He's being chased from behind. Homer looking to throw, fires. It is caught along the sideline, but out of bounds. Pat Bowen and Harry Skipper were there. Perry Tuttle made the grab out of bounds.
I think some of the Clemson fans thought maybe that Tuttle caught the ball in air and then was forced out of bounds. I think he just caught it out of bounds. He didn't put up a great argument about it.
I'll tell you, it was a hard rush coming on Jordan, too. He was fortunate just to get that pass off.
Yes.
South Carolina's ends have been coming hard today on Homer when he rolls out the throw. Tuttle goes to the left side. Gilliard comes to the right. I formation. Brendan Crite with Chuck McSwain. In motion, Tuttle from left to right. It's 3rd down, 7 for the Tigers at the 49 of the Gamecocks. Homer rolling to his right, looking to throw, firing on a misdirect over the middle. That's Jerry Gilliard, and he's got it for a 1st down in at the 36-yard line. The little throwback that time, as Homer was rolling right, he caught Gilliard coming back over the middle against the grain, and Robert Perlow makes the tackle, but another 1st down Tigers at the Gamecock 36.
Not quite a button hook, but he was coming back toward the football. He had gotten deep about the 30 open and came back to meet the ball as Jordan threw the ball back across the field.
That's a tough throw when you're going to your right and you're right-handed throwing back.
Right.
Tuttle left, Gilliard right. Austin and McSwain, the I backfield. That's Stockstill to the left side. He's in motion right. This time Chuck McSwain, huge hole, 35, down to about the 27-yard line. Troy Thomas came up. Must have been a great trap block out there. I didn't see it, but there was a gaping hole, I'll tell you that.
Okay, Barry Hill and whoever's in at left guard right then, Jim, probably James Farr, really opened it up. And boy, when McSwain got to the line of scrimmage, I don't think he could believe the hole that was there.
26-yard line, 2nd down, less than a yard for the Tigers. Homer brings them out in the I. Austin and Crite now. Crite's at fullback. Here's Stockstill in motion from left to right. Pitch back, Cliff Austin. He's got the 1st down as he crosses the 25 to about the 23-yard line, where he is hauled down by Frank Wright and Troy Thomas.
I don't know what Danny and them found at halftime, Jim, but they're convinced they can run the pitch sweep or the option to the short side of the field, and they've done it pretty well here in the 3rd quarter.
You're absolutely right. Of course, the pitch sweep was good to South Carolina on their drive here, too.
Yes.
All right, wide to the right side comes Jerry Gilliard. Ball is at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers. Tuttle in motion left to right. This time Austin gets down to about the 20, maybe the 19-yard line, and he is knocked down at that point as coming across defensively was Hal Henderson for the Gamecocks.
And again, they're favoring the left side of the line and the short side of the field.
So Market in at the 19-yard line. Pick up of 4. It's 2nd down and 6.
It's a good-looking drive.
Austin 16 carries, 60 yards. McSwain, 6 carries, 56 yards. 116 yards out of the tailbacks. There is I didn't even see the play. I was looking down. That was 50, Chuck McSwain, and J.D. Fuller really zoomed in there. And let's see where they're going to mark it. Right about the 21-yard line. So a loss of 2 on the play. Now another big 3rd down play for the Tigers. 3rd and 8.
And again, Homer's been rolling to the right. Gilliard again comes wide to the right. We may see the same type play we saw a moment ago.
Tuttle left, Gilliard right. And now the Tigers are requesting a timeout. So there was timeout on the field with 6:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. The score, Clemson 15, South Carolina 13.
back. 6:02 to go in the third quarter play. A 2-point game with the Tigers driving. They got a big third down play to go here. I believe you got another note there, Jim.
Yeah, the 14th play of this drive is coming up now, Scott. They've used 4:22 off the clock in this drive, but now, of course, they are faced with third and long, third and about 8 at the 21-yard line of the Gamecocks. So, obviously, a very important offensive play here for the Tigers.
It's not hard to see where the Clemson fans are located, most of them in the north end zone seats.
Here's Tuttle wide to the right side. Gilliard goes left. Up. Busted play. Looked like Bubba Diggs took off before the snap of the ball. Nanny and Diggs both left the blocks early that time, so that'll cost 5 more yards and put it back to the 26-yard line. And so it's even more yardage to make now.
But still, if this play doesn't go, they will be in pretty fair shape for a field goal. It still will not be a chip shot. It's going to be a long distance.
Magwood goes to the left side. Tuttle comes right. Third down, 13 yards to go at the 26-yard line of the Gamecocks. Split backfield in behind. Homer Jordan at quarterback. Jordan dropping straight back to throw over the middle. That is Magwood, and it's incomplete. And a flag goes down. We got pass interference.
Yes, sir. The official from the backside of the play.
Pass interference is going to be called here on that play.
I believe it was called by the line judge, Jim. He saw something that the back judge couldn't see.
I don't know who the defender was that they would call this pass interference. Was it Troy Thomas? They would call it on him.
First down.
And that'll be a first down for the Tigers now with the football in at the 14-yard line. Pass interference against Troy Thomas on Magwood. And a big break for the Tigers there. 5:57 left in the third quarter. Stockstill goes to the left. Gilliard comes to the right. They'll be in an I formation. Austin at fullback. McSwain the tailback. Homer Jordan at quarterback. Jordan up under center. Takes out. Rides it off to McSwain. He sweeps outside left end at the 10, and down he goes at about the 7-yard line. Troy Thomas came across to hit him, but again they went to the short side on the sweep, and it was open.
They have, I wish I knew exactly what their thinking is, Jim, but it's absolutely correct. The plays are there. And McSwain is running very, very hard.
Second down and 3 for the Tigers. The ball at the 7-yard line of South Carolina. Out they come. It'll be Tuttle wide to the right. Gilliard to slot right. Kevin Mack and Chuck McSwain in the eye behind Homer Jordan. Jordan pitch back to McSwain again. Mack out in front of the block, but not much there. He does get across the 5, down close to the 5 or 4-yard line. Let's see, it was Hal Henderson who came across with Mike Dura defensively. We're a long way from the action right now. We are at the 15-yard line at the north end of the field, and the action right now is at the 5-yard line at the south end of the field.
Interesting to note, Jim, that most of the yardage on this drive, most of the rushes have been off the left offensive side of the line. Mayberry and Fisher and Berryhill. They haven't gone to the Manny Brian Clark side much. 3rd and 1. Kevin Mack, Chuck, and Cliff Austin. Here's Homer Jordan for the first down as he sneaks over right guard. Homer Jordan gets the first down, sneaking over right guard, and it'll be 1st and goal Tigers. Big pile up. They finally unstacked. Lee Nanny came out of there. He was blocking on that right side, and he's pepped up about the fact they have that first down. It's at the 3-yard line of the Gamecocks. 1st and goal Clemson. And let's see if they elect to go to the short side again on the pitch. Well, remember the element of surprise. Homer just may pull it down and try that naked reverse he's used before. Mack and McSwain in the eye. McSwain gets the call straight ahead and fights his way down to about the 1, but he doesn't get across the plane of the goal line. Chuck McSwain right straight ahead over left guard and carries just to the 1-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal. Ricky Haygood and Mike Dura were there defensively for South Carolina. Well, this almost rules out anything wide, Jim. They're going to go with straight power football and just it's my guys against your guys and see what we can do. Cright is in. They'll go to a power formation. Cright will be a wing on the right side. Kevin Mack at fullback. Chuck McSwain the tailback. Homer Jordan sets them down. Cright goes in motion from right to left. Here's McSwain up over the top. Touchdown!
Chuck McSwain up over the top for the 6 points. And they're still unstacking players down there. The Tigers have moved on top 21-13 now. And we're going to have Bob Pauling coming on to attempt the point after. 4 minutes, 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. Anthony Peretti will hold. Pauling will kick. He missed on his first extra point attempt this afternoon. Now we're set to go as we await the snap. Here's the spot. Pauling's kick is up. His kick is good. So there was time out on the field with the score here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Clemson 22, South Carolina 13.
Both teams score on their first possessions of the second half. In fact, Jim, you think about it, 11 minutes on 2 drives being used by these two teams, and they each come away with a touchdown. It's 22-13, Clemson up by 9 once again.
Ken Haygood is backed up deep, flanked by Smith and Lewis.
Incidentally, that was 86 yards and 18 plays, almost 6.5 minutes off that clock.
Here's Igwe Buike's kick, high end over end. Haygood, 2 yards into the end zone. He'll bring it out to the 5, to the 10, gets outside, fumble, and the ball, I think, is grabbed back by South Carolina's Kent Haygood, the man who lost it.
Oh.
And no one saw that ball pop out, it didn't appear, because when Martin hit him and the ball squirted out, players were just kind of standing there. Then finally a reaction, but a little late. It's at the 18-yard line.
Exactly 4 minutes to go in the third period of play.
First and 10 Gamecocks at their own 18. Now Gordon Beckham coming in.
Haygood, I think, had a little indecision in the end zone. He seemed to pause just for a moment before he brought the ball out.
Johnny Wright and Todd Berry are in a split backfield now behind quarterback Gordon Beckham. Smith is wide to the right side, comes in motion from right to left. Beckham back to throw, rolling to his right. Being pursued out there. Joe Glenn grabs him and pulls him down. Joe just reached out and grabbed Beckham by the jersey and spills him down at about the 16-yard line.
Of course, Joe playing here in his hometown. He's from Columbia.
Boy, he was really moving quickly that time, and as Beckham turned up, he just reached out and grabbed him by the jersey to spin him down for a yard loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Chivers coming out. Wide to the left is Smith. Berry and Haygood now are the split backfield behind Gordon Beckham. In motion is Smith from left to right as Beckham drops to throw once again. Looking on, firing deep down the right side, and it is incomplete, broken up by Andy Hedden, as the intended receiver was Kent Haygood, and Hedden was there to break it up.
Excellent coverage. Good coverage. The ball was sort of lofted, not exactly an alley-oop, but it had a good size arc on it.
Well, that wind kind of made it flutter a bit too.
Yep. And
that gave Hedden a little extra second to get over under it. So it is now 3rd down, 11 yards to go for the Gamecocks. Out they come with Smith wide to the left side. Hillary goes to the right. A split backfield once more behind Gordon Beckham at quarterback. Tigers fake the blitz, now drop off. Here's Beckham on a straight drop, and chasing him is Jeff Bright. He fires over the middle. It's wide open. Out here is Horace Smith, and he has it out at the 34-yard line for a 1st down. Boy, was he open. Got away from Anthony Rose on the play, and Beckham finds him. It's at the 36. They have marked it. 1st and 10 Gamecocks.
Well, again, the South Carolina offensive line picked up the pass rush pretty well. They gave Beckham all the time he needed.
Smith goes wide to the right side. Hillary comes to the left. Split backfield with Blasingame and Haygood. Back to throw again. Beckham looking over the middle. Firing. It is intercepted at the 45-yard line of the Tigers by Tim Childers. The ball was tipped off of Horace Smith's hands, the intended receiver, and Childers flying through the air comes up with the interception. The 2nd interception by the Tigers this afternoon, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. So there is a big, big break in this football game because South Carolina had just moved out of the hole on 3rd down and got the first down.
Well, Tim Childers now moves into 3rd place on the interception list. He's got 3 on the year.
Kreitz at fullback, Austin the tailback, the pitch back to Cliff Austin up to the 50 and into South Carolina territory at the 49-yard line where Mike Dura brings him down. 2:33 remaining here, 3rd quarter of play, 22-13, Clemson on top in this game. Hard-fought battle at Williams-Brice Stadium this 21st day of November, 1981. Stockstill to the left. Magwood comes to the right side. Wright is the fullback, and McSwain is now in at tailback. In motion is Stockstill from left to right. Homer Jordan taking out. Gives off to McSwain. Chuck gets outside as he slips a tackle, moves to the 45, into the 44-yard line of South Carolina. He's going to be close to a first down.
I believe he got it, Jim.
He tried to go over left guard, and it was plugged, so he just slipped off and finally was pulled down by Thomas and Province. And it is a first down for the Tigers in at the 44-yard line of South Carolina.
Okay, the clock has stopped momentarily. 1:53 to go. Tigers lead by 9. Big break as Tim Childers on the old tip drill comes up with an interception.
Stockstill to the left, Gilliard to the right. Homer, pitch back to McSwain. Down the left sideline he goes, and he is finally knocked down in around the 36-yard line, about the 37 by J.D. Fuller.
Ooh. Chuck McSwain came to play today, didn't he?
He did. He has his running shoes on. I don't believe I've ever seen him run any harder than he is this afternoon, Scott.
Well, you could see that in the first half, and he's pretty well taking charge out there right now. 2nd
down and 3, ball at the 37-yard line of South Carolina. Tigers in possession. Tuttle to the left side. Magwood comes right. I formation once again. Brendan Kright at fullback. Chuck McSwain the tailback. Again, McSwain gets the call. Fumble! And let's see who's got it. I believe Clemson comes up with it. No, he did not. South Carolina's Ricky Haygood has the football. Chuck McSwain never had possession of it. On the handoff, he lost possession. And a big scramble for it. Ricky Haygood has it. And here comes South Carolina right back now. Hey, tell you what.
It's been wild and woolly.
Typical of these battles, isn't it?
Yes, wild and woolly.
It's at the 35-yard line of South Carolina. The Gamecocks have the football.
No established momentum. Both teams now turning the ball over.
Blasingame and Wright will line up in an I formation. They'll have a wing to the right side. That's Chivers in motion. Gordon Beckham at quarterback. Long count. He's checking off. Now rolling to his right, and Joe Glenn again has him. Joe Glenn stepped up in the hole and met Gordon Beckham and spins him down for a loss at the 33-yard line. Minute 20 seconds remaining here. 3rd quarter. 22-13. Clemson on top of South Carolina. But far from being over. Del Wilkes has checked in now at guard for the Gamecocks. Out they come. Forrest Smith will go wide to the right side. They'll line up in the I formation behind Beckham at quarterback. 2nd down and 12. Now again, they go with motion from the right side. Pitch back. This is a big hole. Johnny Wright, 40, 45, midfield and into Tiger territory at the 48-yard line before he is hauled down. And finally getting to him was Billy Davis, but did they open it up over the right side of the Clemson defense that time?
Wright has the speed. He was a blocking back last year for George Rogers. I guess in some quarters there's a lot of glory in that. This year he moved to their starting tailback. He got outside there. He flashed some of that speed. He has good speed.
Todd Berry, Kent Haygood, I formation. Horace Smith goes wide to the right side. Gordon Beckham at quarterback now has a wing right. Chivers in motion from right to left. Pitch back. This is Kent Haygood. Running room, cross the 45, down to the 40-yard line before he is finally pulled down. And defensively, William Perry was there for the Tigers. But South Carolina again running with the football now and running well as they're in at the Clemson 40-yard line. Shadows have lengthened, covering the entire playing field now.
Clemson's defense, they've been faking a blitz. I wouldn't at all be surprised if they step up, maybe send everybody here in a moment.
Horace Smith wide to the right side. Again, Chivers will back up and become a wing right. He's in motion from right to left. Here's Beckham. riding it off, straight up the middle. And again, that's Haygood. He's down to the 36-yard line before he is hit. So a pickup of 4 on the play. It'll be second down, or no, first down rather. And just 2 seconds remaining here in this third quarter of play, as that is enough for a first down. And now the clock expires. We have reached the end of the third quarter. And here at Williams-Brice Stadium, the score, Clemson 22, South Carolina 13.
Gamecocks are not out of it yet. We'll go in the fourth quarter, and South Carolina, the underdog, trailing by just 9 points, 22-13 Clemson. Tigers undefeated. They've never won 11 games in 1 year. 1948, they were 11-0. But that 11th victory came actually in the calendar year 49 on January 1st in a bowl game. Gordon Beckham directing the attack. Hands off to Johnny Williams. Williams cracks the middle. Not much there. Taken back hard by the middle of that Clemson defense. 82 is Danny Triplett. He plays the opposite side from Jeff Davis, a linebacker. Ray Brown is 72. 94, William Devane. The gain is 3 at 2nd and 7. South Carolina at the Clemson 33. Haygood and Berry now the running backs for the Gamecocks. You see Dominic Blasingame, number 35, come off. He and Wright will get a rest here. Haygood and Berry go in. Now they run the keep by Beckham, and he's hit down around the 30-yard line by Bryant, Jeff Bryant, number 99. They call Bryant and Perry the new upside-down team, 66 and 99. Used to be Bryant and Stuckey, who wore 66. Jim Stuckey, an All-American. Jim Carlin did a good job getting his team ready here, Ken, for this one.
He's done a great job, and that's on that play right there. Gordon Beckham saw Jeff Davis getting ready to blitz, and he said, "I'm going to keep the ball and get out of here."
Smith, the wide receiver, the right side. Look out for a pass here on 3rd down and 5 for South Carolina. Beckham, a good rush on Beckham. Out of the pocket, over the middle. It's complete to Smith at the 20. Penalty marker is down as Smith catches the ball, taken down the 20-yard line. If the play goes, it'll be a first down for South Carolina, but penalty flag is on the turf.
We got a holding.
Well, you saw Gordon Beckham scrambling back there, though a quick rush was put on immediately by Clemson. It looked like Andy Hedden might have been coming from right in. Maybe Jeff Bryant was also in there. Got the pass off. Boy, Smith will get open. You give him three seconds, and he's going to get open.
He's running that play up under there. You know, when a guy has a holding call put on him at that point in the game, you'd like to say, well, listen, why am I running so hard to stay out of the way if you're holding?
Costly penalty against South Carolina. Instead of a first down, the 20. Gamecocks are back at the 41. It's a 21-yard swing. And it'll be 3rd down, long yardage. They have to pick up 15 here. They might go for a long field goal if they can pick up some yardage, but not get the first down. Beckham, good rush, and here's Beckham for his life, sacked over the 50-yard line. Ray Brown, the left tackle, sophomore from Rome, Georgia, all over Beckham, and he sacks him at the 48-yard line, and now South Carolina must punt.
Well, I tell you, the Clemson linemen just keep coming. They're different names on every play. Here's Ray Brown. I don't think we've called his name today, and he puts on the rush. There's Gordon Beckham trying to get out of the way, and here he comes.
No way.
No way. They've only got 2 seniors in the top 10 on their first 2 teams.
Reynaud Fernando Brown, and he really put the sack on Beckham. And is Norman out to punt the ball. Back is Billy Davis, and they're going to let it go, and it's over the goal line. Oh, luckily for Clemson, the ball got in the end zone for the touchback, and so Clemson will take over at their 20 with a 22-13 lead. All right, Andrew Province has had to come out of the game. Oh, he's played a stout game for the Gamecocks. Now he's walking under his own power, so he just turned his ankle maybe a little bit, and they look him over. Now back for Clemson. Pitch to McSwain. Turns on the speed and spins over the 30 for a first down. Paul Martin, a sophomore who just replaced Province on that play, gets into the action and gets his baptismal. Makes a tackle. Young player from Miami. First down for Clemson on the 32. Injury's been the story for South Carolina this year. They were riding high and beaten. They were the first team to defeat the University of North Carolina, knocked him out of the top 10. They were hit with a rash of injuries. And it's continued a little bit here today. On first down, first guy through is the fullback, Jeff McCall. I think, let's see. It's Brendan Crite. Frank Wright was there to make the stop for South Carolina. It was Brendan Crite who's been forced into fullback duty today a little bit, Ken. Jeff McCall, I guess, just didn't come back from that injury he had. He has not played today.
Well, he had the rib injury he got in the North Carolina game. He's never been able to come back from. They've just lost Lee Nanny, their great offensive tackle, and that could hurt that offensive line.
Oh, that's a tough break. Nanny just limped off, and they'll have to replace him with Joe Ellis. There's McSwain exploding through. McSwain over the 45. Robert Perlow, and a penalty flag is thrown here on this play. Oh, maybe it could have been a late hit, or on that one, any event, South Carolina. Watch McSwain.
Chuck McSwain can make his own hole at times. Here he is. He cuts. He makes that cut, and you're going to see a flag. There you go. 84. Kerry Johnson coming in late. That is going to cost him 15 more. You can't do it.
You know, watching McSwain just have dawned on me, Ken. I imagine a lot of folks out in Nebraska looking on here with some keen interest.
I would imagine you're right.
They'll be playing this team down in Miami, and they've got a great tailback. Roger the Dodger Craig. Saw him play when he came up as a freshman. Now 100 yards for McSwain. He's gone over 100 yards today in 15 carries unofficially. Great performance by the junior from Caroline, North Carolina. Here goes McSwain again, cutting back and just throwing his body down the 31-yard line. Ricky Haygood. Boy, he plays with abandon.
He does that. He leaves his feet a lot, which would worry me a little bit as a coach. And here I think that's Emmanuel Weaver, who was a great nose guard for the South Carolina ball club early in the year. Got hurt.
Yeah, another flag is thrown. That's Weaver on crutches. He was a great nose guard, and that's typical of what's happened to South Carolina. Personal foul, South Carolina. Second one here on this drive. It'll be another first down for Clemson.
That's on Phil Ellis.
Well, Ellis had to come in, you remember, and replace a player a moment ago.
He came in for Andrew Province, I believe.
Yep. He had been playing defensive end behind Henderson.
Oh, those things will kill you. That's 30 yards in this one drive.
All the way down the 16-yard line, and Jim Carlin a little upset over the way things have turned here. His team was very much in the ball game. They still are. But with 10 minutes and 44 seconds to go, Clemson now threatening here to pick up some insurance at the South Carolina 16. Homer Jordan sticking to the ground now. Hands up the middle to Crite. First guy through, stopped by Ricky Haygood.
I'll say this about the Clemson ball club. They're not afraid to use all of their backs.
Now they've used 5 running backs today, plus Jordan, who's a running back of his own right.
Well, he's like having a fourth one in there. You're right.
McSwain now's the tailback. Hey, give it to McSwain. Cuts back, 10, 5, 4-yard line. Chuck McSwain almost broke it for the score. Robert Perlow tripped him up, but he gets a first and goal for Clemson. And the Tigers now really controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's got an interesting running style. If you notice how he runs, he's kind of shifting a little bit, but he seems to glide. Here you see that little fly, he just kind of glides out of the way.
That was not going to count. Clemson's been caught for holding, and so it'll come back the other way. And now penalties beginning to break up the momentum of this game with just under 9 minutes to go. There's the signal from referee Raymond Bauer. Holding against Clemson. Danny Ford right down on his knee watching this one. Boy, he'll be taking this team into a postseason bowl game, and this time perhaps with a shot at a national title. And he's only 33 years old. The motion comes Tuttle, a brilliant receiver. Jordan, a deep handoff, and here goes Austin. Breaking to the 10. All still on his feet. Now that's his McSwain touchdown.
That's a great run. Great run.
Chuck McSwain it was, and he goes all the way to score. 23 yards, and Clemson now has picked up some insurance with 9.5 minutes remaining.
This is one of the finest runs you'll see this year. Jim, he just made it all on his own. He got through there on that little sprint draw, took off to the outside, kept kind of that little shifty motion of his. When he saw that goal line, though, he put it on it. Here we go. He lets the quarterback bring it back to him. He makes those little stutter steps, comes back. Now, watch him keep coming back out to the outside. 2 tackles missed there. He breaks this one and stays on his feet long enough to hit that goal line.
That's just a great run by McSwain. I'd say he's now a candidate for a Vitalis Player of the Game award.
I would say he's very close right now.
Again, Clemson used that unusual. That's 129 yards for Chuck. 131 yards by Chuck McSwain. Oh, what a day he's having. Clemson. McSwain catching his breath. He remains out there for the try for point. It's 28-13. And Clemson with that unusual open huddle, and now they ship their men back into a normal setup. Bob Pauling to try for the point. Pauling had his string broken today, but now he's hit his last 2. And it becomes a 16-point lead for Clemson. 9.5 minutes to go from South Carolina. Tigers 29, Gamecocks 13. A Tiger rag, the strains of that we've heard a few times today, and they strike up the band one more time. The Tiger just finished his 29 push-ups. Clemson 29 and South Carolina 13.
I think the Tigers got to pull muscle, but one thing you got to worry about is tripping on these oranges coming out on the field.
You can see a few right there. Significant, of course, because of the Orange Bowl bid that'll be tendered Clemson at the end of this game today. And they'll be headed for Miami to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers on New Year's Day in Miami. It'll be a good game. Igwe Buikwe really boomed that one. 8 yards deep in the end zone. That'll be a touchdown right there by Kent Haygood. And discretion being the better part of valor there. South Carolina will take it out to the 20 and begin from that point. Gordon Beckham, who's had a pretty good game. Not so much in passing, but mixed up the attack well. He's had 2 impressive scoring drives to start each half. At the beginning of the game and again in the third quarter, each wound up in a South Carolina touchdown. And now here he goes from his 20 with his team now trailing by 16 points. 9.5 minutes to go, and Beckham may be forced to go back to the air. From the 10, Beckham out of the backfield, and he's hit his man there, and that is Dominic Blasingame, the fullback. Gets a gain of about 4 or 5 yards out of it. Stopped by Tim Childers, the strong safety at the 24. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, he's going to have to get a little bit more than that. He's got plenty of time. 9 minutes, a little bit over 9 minutes to go. He's got to start putting the ball downfield.
You know, passing has come more and more into college football. Having their biggest year ever, college teams are in passing. And here's Beckham again. Down and out. Intended for Chris Corley, the tight end. It'll be 3rd and 6 now. That stops the clock with 8:56 remaining in the 4th period. Shadows now have completely covered the field here at Bryce Williams Stadium in Columbia. Horace Smith comes up limping a little bit, may have pulled a muscle, and he goes out. Keith Miller goes in to replace him in a wide receiver spot. Smith's the top receiver and he's caught 3 passes in this game. There's Beckham's log. Only 7 completions at 20 attempts, 74 yards. 2 of them been intercepted. Blitz all out on Beckham. He gets by the first wave, and now he'll be taken down and sacked inside the 15 by Bill Smith. Another sack by Clemson. Bill Smith, number 84, a senior from Duncan, South Carolina.
He had no chance. They came up and faked it on the outside, and then they brought it up through the middle.
You know, Ken, Clemson hadn't scored a touchdown on a block punt in 17 years, and Smith blocked one this year against Virginia, and Clemson come back to get another one here today. Norman in the punt will have to punt from inside his 5-yard line. Good protection this time. And a nice high kick. Back to package by Billy Davis on his 45. Davis the 50. Needed one more block, and he's tripped up just. He goes over the midfield stripe. He's down to the South Carolina 47, and there it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 8 minutes to go in the game. Homer Jordan now with some breathing room has a 13-point lead. The pitch is out to McSwain. Here he comes. McSwain, 45-40 and out of bounds. About the 40-yard line. He's going to get 8 more yards on that one. J.D. Fuller stopping.
He looks like he's not running, but those legs are moving. Very deceptive.
Roy McSwain's having quite a day here for Clemson University. We mentioned that he's going to be a candidate at least for player of the game. And I think Clemson's going to ask for a timeout. The Tigers want to talk things over.
Believe it or not, Jim, some of the fans are leaving. I would guess they are not Clemson fans if they are leaving.
McSwain's biggest game previously was 107 yards against Kentucky. So this is his biggest game of the season in rushing for the Clemson Tigers. 2nd and 2, Clemson at the 40 after that 8-yard gain. There's a good look at Homer Jordan. He's had an outstanding game too. Scored a touchdown today. They give it to McSwain. McSwain runs into a little problem here in the name of James Sumter and Hal Henderson.
Now, in my opinion, Chuck McSwain is tired. They ought to get him out of there right now. He can only hurt you from this point, and watch him break it for about 30. But he looks tired. He's running tired.
I think you can look for a pass right here, even though it's 3rd and short yardage. Well, now maybe they might go for the 1st down. But they just brought in Frank Magwood. He's an excellent receiver. But it would seem here Clemson will try to get the 1st down. 3rd and a yard, probably less than a yard at the 43.5. Fumble by Jordan. South Carolina will get it. And it'll be the Gamecocks ball. Cannot advance a fumble. The defense cannot in college. And it's been turned over by Jordan at the 47. And I do believe he had pass in his mind, Kim.
Well, I think he did. Honestly, I think he might have been thinking about setting up a little bit. He just didn't make connections with the center. That could have, if we'd have been playing on a different rule structure, that could have been a different ball game.
Well, NFL would have been a 6, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure would.
He had a 15-yard lead. That was Phil Ellis, number 80, a junior from St. Petersburg, Florida, recovered the fumble for South Carolina. The Gamecocks still have a chance with 7:14 to go. Beckham going down the left sideline to Smith, thrown behind him, incomplete. Horace Smith had made his cut, and Beckham was just off the mark. Rod McSwain covering. Beckham has been inconsistent, especially in passing for South Carolina this year. That and the losses they've had in the offensive line have really checked the Gamecocks. Looked like they were headed for a great year when they beat North Carolina, but they've hit the skid since then. And you can understand why. 7 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. Beckham, he's being charged and sacked. Bill Smith, nobody checks Smith as he's coming hard from left end. And Smith gets his 2nd sack here in the 4th quarter.
Cardinal sin. You can't let a guy get sacked at this point in the ball game. Bill Smith, really, he got a little watch-out block from number 75, and from that point on, he teed off on him.
Well, he had Ricky Elliott beat. You're exactly right, Ken. And he takes Beckham down for a loss to the 39, and now it is 3rd and 18. Really needs a big play here now. Beckham needs a lot, going down the sidelines to Smith, and it's way over his head, out of bounds. 4th down, punting time for the Gamecocks. So here was 6 minutes 28 seconds to go in Columbia, South Carolina. The nation's number 2 team looking more and more like it's headed for win number 11. This is Jim Thacker with Ken Willard, and the traditional battle between the Gamecocks and the Tigers. Number 13, Chris Norman, excellent punter for South Carolina. Averaging almost 44 yards a punt. He's way under that today. Just 32-8. Had 1 blocked for a touchdown. Bad snap. That time Clemson was not rushing. Oh, does he hit this one? Way over the head of Billy Davis. And that's going to be killed inside the 1.
I want to tell you, that's one of the finest plays I've seen in a long time.
No, now they're saying it was touchback. He did not get it in time, but wow, was that close to being a sensational.
He's going to get overruled over here. I tell you, he's going to get overruled.
Well, they're going to put Clemson in a hole right there.
I
Look
think
how close that is to the goal line.
It's a good call. It really is. Let's watch this ball and see if we can tell whether the ball hits in.
Now, Ken, it's the ball, not the player,
That's
right?
That's exactly right.
Takes a pretty good hop there. Ball does never cross the goal line. Good call, Ken. You had it exactly right. John Tanner. John Tanner, number 19. No, Tony Rambo. Tony Rambo is the man who made the play.
How many times do you see one ref overrule another ref on a decision play like that?
Well, not well, but they should. It's an excellent call, and that's what they're there for, to be a team.
It takes courage to do that. They don't get enough credit for it.
Rambo is only 5'8", because I know that punt very well. Billy Davis didn't try to make a fair catch. That might have been the first mistake by Clemson.
I think you're right. Although at this point in the ball game, you don't want to make a mistake, and sometimes when you play not to lose, you can lose.
That was a super punt. That was about a 70-yard punt. Clemson, quarterback keep.
And if they don't watch themselves, and South Carolina doesn't watch it, Homer Jordan will sneak his way on out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah. Number 3, he's had another big game. Boy, he has been consistent and improved almost every play. I already see the South Carolina home scoreboard calling for the defense, but there's the story of the game. Less than 6 minutes to go. Clemson, 16-point lead. McSwain. Mack in the backfield and pitches to McSwain to the right side, cutting back. McSwain knifes it over the 5. They're trying to get at least some running room here for Dale Hatcher. J.D. Fuller stopping McSwain. McSwain having his biggest game of the season.
That's a very brave play, too. I'd get a little nervous as a coach when I watch those pitch outs going back here in the end zone when a guy's receiving the ball. And quite truthfully, Chuck McSwain's had a great game, but he's had a slippery game.
Now the ball's been bounced around. He had one fumble that was lost by Clemson. It's 3rd and 5 at the 6-yard line. Here's Jordan on the keep. Jordan, first down, more, 10, 15, and a first down at the 19-yard line. Another big play by Homer Jordan. Ricky Haygood tripped him up, but too late.
If you think he had any other thought on his mind other than running that football, you're wrong, because he had decided to run that ball long before anything else. There was no question of a pass. He was off.
Well, he has broken all the records set by Steve Fuller in total offense each year. Has only the total one left to shoot for, and he's just a junior, so he's got next year to work on that. Clemson really comes off the ball. They give it to the fullback, first man through. Brendan Kreitz out by Darrell and Henderson. Clock continues to roll now with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Clemson 29, South Carolina 13. The Tigers could hold this. They'll have a perfect year. Number 2 rating at the least, and headed for a Orange Bowl date with Nebraska. And that man who's been in football 15 years will be going to his 11th bowl game as a player or coach. Jordan on the keep. Got some room. Does he ever? 35-40. Homer Jordan all the way the 46-yard line of Clemson.
Oh, a great run. He can hurt you. He can hurt you in so many ways. Brad Fisher got out in front of him and threw a super block. Here he is. He takes it. No magic to this one. He's running all the way. Fisher gets in there and knocks a couple of people down, and he's off. And he's so smooth when he gets out in the open. And he's not a weak guy. He's got some strength in those legs.
He's a tough kid, all right. You come behind Steve Fuller and break those records. You know what Fuller's done with Kansas City, and here at Clemson, he was just brilliant. Now they pitch it to McSwain, coming to the left side. I think you're right, Ken. I think McSwain a little weary.
Yeah, that's his biggest day, of course, and I don't think I would doubt very seriously whether he's run the ball this many times at any other time. You know, he's had the ball 20 times now for 141 yards, and
that's a big day's work, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is.
Ball at the 48-yard line. Remember, we'll be naming the Vitalis player of the game shortly. There are 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 2nd down and 7. Clemson at its own 48. Here's the reverse. They're setting it for Tuttle. getting a block, and Tuttle will slip and go down on the 45. Tuttle didn't challenge Kerry Johnson, and he went down and slipped.
He is no dummy.
Jordan tried to get over there and throw a block. Do you see that? Jordan was trying to lead Tuttle on the end around.
Just when I think I had the game figured out, Jim, Danny Ford sends in a play like an end around when I'm thinking he should be running out the clock. So, you know, that's how much I can figure out on this one.
Well, they lost back to the original line of play now. It's 3rd and 10. Wide left Gay Yard. And over the right is Stockstill. Here comes Stockstill in motion. His brother is a quarterback at Florida State, you know. And they give it off, the deep handoff to McSwain, going straight ahead, gets him 5 more. Stopped by Frank Wright around midfield. But 4th down, Clemson will punt with the clock showing less than 2 minutes to go. It's rolling now at 2:10. And Clemson leading by 16 points. And now perhaps visions of Miami. Members of the Orange Bowl committee are here to extend the invitation. Telephone lines are being held open to Miami. And the bid will be extended in the Clemson locker room after the game. There's the time, under 2 minutes.
That's the greatest unkept secret in America today, is who's getting that Orange Bowl bid.
Clemson's just going to stay back in the huddle until they run down the time, and they'll take the 5-yard penalty. Delay of game. There it is with 1:38 remaining. So South Carolina would have to pull off a miracle now. They need to score twice, and time is closing in on them. Dale Hatcher, nation's 17th ranked punter, 43.4, is in to punt for the Tigers. Just a freshman. Oh, he puts it in the ozone. Well, that is really up there. Fair catch taken at the 9-yard line. Great punt by Hatcher. South Carolina socked into a hole. It's Clemson 29, South Carolina 13 with just 90 seconds left. Back to the goal line is Beckham. Sideline to Smith. Takes it in stride at the 21 for a 1st down.
Great toss.
Yep, Beckham hit Smith. A perfectly executed play. Crossing pattern, or down and out, I guess it was.
That's Chuck McSwain.
Yeah, he is our Vitalis player of the game. Chuck McSwain, the tailback, his biggest game of the year. He's a junior from Caroline, North Carolina. Same high school, Chase High School, that produced David Thompson. And he has come up with a brilliant game. 151 yards today to lead Clemson. Beckham on 1st down. Beckham on the run. Hits out of the backfield to Blasingame. A big fullback up the 35 for another 1st down. South Carolina moving. But all the time, the clock is running down. Now they've called timeout, stopping the clock with a minute. No, they did not call timeout.
Just to move the chains.
Yep. Minute 15, clock is rolling. Well, Clemson giving up about double its average here, however, today. They've given up 13 points. They have been number 2 in the country behind Southern Mississippi at 7.7. 1 minute to go as Beckham fires deep down the sidelines to Horace Smith. Over his shoulder, but he is out of bounds. He made the catch, but it will not count. Smith out of bounds, covered all the way down there by Jeff Settle. Clemson has come within 2 of tying its all-time interception mark of 25, set in 1951, and they'll have the bowl game to try and catch that. Less than a minute to go now, 57 seconds. The Oranges will come on the field when this one ends. Beckham comes over the middle, incomplete. That one came almost to being intercepted.
Almost had a chance to catch that record.
Wanted to hit Chris Corley's tight end on a crossing pattern. Got one hand on it. 51 seconds to go. That took 6 seconds. So you've seen the nation's number 2 team here today, the Clemson Tigers. They've been in 10 bowl games, including a 1940 Cotton Bowl. They beat Boston College. The 1951 Orange Bowl. They defeated Miami. They went back to the Orange Bowl in 57 and lost to Colorado. They'll be going back to the Orange Bowl on January 1st. They also played in the Sugar Bowl in 1959, losing to LSU and Billy Cannon 7-0. And they've been in 4 Gator Bowls, splitting even, including the one that was Danny Ford's head coaching debut. That was marked by the Woody Hayes incident with Charlie Babbitt. By the way, Charlie Babbitt and Woody Hayes became pretty good friends.
Is that right?
Right. Woody called Charlie on the phone and apologized to him. And quite well-known story down here in
well, you know,
Clemson.
Woody Hayes was a great coach for many years, and regardless of what anybody says, he did a whole lot for football in that area and throughout the country. And it was more than anything else. I think it was a shame that it had to end that way.
Well, he was a giant in coaching, no question, at Ohio State. I'd be lucky ever to have another one. 3rd down and 10 for South Carolina with 51 seconds to go. Now Clemson dropping 11 players back. I've never seen that before. Nobody rushing, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit downfield to Ira Hillary.
I don't know.
I've never seen a play before nobody rushed.
I think they were having some fun. I honestly do, because they absolutely have nothing to gain by dropping 11 players, because they're not going to throw the ball in the middle.
They dropped 11 players. Beckham could have picked up a 1st down. I think was just running straight ahead. 45 seconds to go.
I think they were having a little fun. I honestly do.
Clemson, there you see, you're going to see a celebration break out there in a moment. Already beginning to stir over there among the coaches. Winding up a perfect season. First one since 1948. A fumble. That'll be an incomplete pass. Beckham's hand was going forward. Looked like he tried to change his mind and hold on the ball, and it slipped out.
That's a tough break.
Incomplete pass, though. It's 4th down, South Carolina with 39 seconds to go. The Gamecocks will go ahead and play football here and kick the ball away. They'll try no 4th down plays, even though it looks like the final issue here has been decided. 1948, Clemson was 10-0, won the Gator Bowl to go 11-0. But this is the first time they will have won 11 in the same calendar year. Norman is in to punt for the game. No, that was a 4th down pass. I'm sorry. The ball does go over. And just going to be dropped on. Mike Gaskew is in there, quarterback.
How would you like to be Mike Gaskew, who they send in?
Well, it's Peretti. Anthony Peretti actually has come in. And it's a smart move by Danny Ford. He has Jordan. Gaskew's a pretty good backup. He is going to risk any kind of injury to either one of those guys. And he's asked freshman Anthony Peretti of Jacksonville come in here and do, as Terry Henry would say, 2 flop-ons. There's the second one, and that'll do it. With 9 seconds to go, and that's a countdown. Look for the Oranges come on the field now. Clemson Tigers, number 2 in the country, undefeated, perfect season, 11 straight victories, and they touch it off with a sweet one indeed here today over their arch rival, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Danny Ford just been congratulated, and he's heading now to the locker room. He'll be having a phone call waiting there from Miami. But that's the story of this game. Clemson, as expected, is the winner over South Carolina for its perfect year. Final, Tigers 29, Gamecocks 13.
So in the end, the Tigers defeated their in-state rival. With the victory, Clemson earned a shot at the national title game in the Orange Bowl against Nebraska. Here's Tom Mees with his Vintage Sports Center report from January 1st, 1982.
Most coaches say that football is a game of mistakes. Well, the 48th annual Orange Bowl proved that old adage. The battle for the national championship featured mistakes galore in the first half alone. Mistake number 1 came from the Huskers, who fumbled at their own 28 just a minute 22 into the game. Clemson's William Devane recovered the football, setting up a 41-yard field goal by Donald Igwebuikwe, and Nebraska was behind 3-0 in a hurry. Nebraska on the ensuing drive took advantage of a mistake by Clemson, though. The defensive backfield got crossed up as Mike Rozier hit running back Anthony Steele on a 25-yard scoring toss, and the Huskers led 7-3. Clemson made it 7-6 with another field goal, and the Tigers were threatening again in the second quarter when they made another error, as quarterback Homer Jordan was intercepted in the end zone by Nebraska's Rick Lindquist. But then with 7:11 left in the half, the Huskers turned the ball over to Clemson as Phil Bates fumbled on his own 27. Jeff Davis recovered for the Tigers. From there, Clemson took it in on a 2-yard run by Jeff Austin, and it was 12-7 Clemson at the half. In the third quarter, the Tigers locked up their first national championship ever on a 13-yard TD pass from quarterback Jordan to Perry Tuttle. And when place kicker Donald Igwebuikwe added a 37-yard field goal to make it 22-7, it was party time in South Carolina.
In the 20 years since their victory over Nebraska, the Tigers have returned to a bowl game 13 times.